Hello, everyone. Welcome to Marketing 459 Personal Selling and Sales Management. Personal Selling and Sales Management. This is Chapter 3. In Chapter 3, we're going to cover the personal selling process. Okay? The personal selling or professional selling processes. Okay? Neil Rackham once said that the sales process itself plays an increasing role in creating customer value. Okay? In creating customer value, the sales process itself plays an increasingly more important role in doing that. Okay, that's something to keep in mind. So what is the personal selling process? Okay, there are altogether about eight steps of the sales process. If you look at professional selling, the sales process, there are about 8 steps that you need to go through, right? The first one, from bottom up, okay, first one is prospecting. Prospecting, meaning that you want to find the prospect, potential customers that could be your potential buyers, that could be your customers, right? Your companies that are willing and interested in buying your products. Okay? And the second step is that once you identify the prospect, you want to prepare your approach, right? It's called the pre-approach. Pre-approach. You're going to study the company, study the business, and the competing industry of the company, and the personnel, and its current product needs and wants, and prepare yourself for the approach. The third step is approach. Approach meaning that you're going to formally initiate the contact with them. Normally, we're talking about setting up an appointment, right? Or ask for an appointment to meet with them. Eventually, you want to meet with them in person. This is all professional selling or personal selling is all about. We're not talking about online selling or over the phone selling or internet selling. We're talking about person to person, face to face, on site professional selling. Okay, so you want to set an appointment, to ask for an appointment, to approach them, to have an appointment, to meet with them. Okay? Now, once you have the appointment made and you are there on time, right, then there's a fourth stage. The fourth step is need assessment. You don't get there just to present yourself or tell them, hey, come on, buy some of my stuff here. Right? You don't do it that way. You need to first assess their needs. Okay? Assess their needs to find out why and tell them why. Explain to your customer, potential customer at this time, why your product can indeed satisfy their need. Okay? That's step 4. And the next one, after you find out about their need and you want to give them a presentation, a formal presentation. The presentation does not have to be on PowerPoint slides, of course, but it is actually the most often used tool. But you can also do a product demo, flip chart, or whatever ways you can, you will find useful and needed. Right? But oftentimes, of course, you set up appointment, you set up a laptop, you set up a screen, or use their screen, give a presentation, a powerful PowerPoint presentation. Okay? The next step in the process is meeting objections. Okay? Meeting objections. Can you expect to meet many objections? You bet. Yeah, there are going to be many objections. Right? Probably from the very beginning until the end, until you sign the contract. Even after you sign the contract, there could be objections of all kinds. Right? So prepare yourself for dealing with and meeting with those objections, to overcome those objections. Okay? The next step is gaining commitment. Gaining commitment. We call it close. Close the deal. close the deal, sign the contract, gain commitment, put in an order. And the last step is follow up. Once contract is signed, commitment is gained, contract is signed, you still need to follow up. Okay? Follow up to many things. Maybe arrange for delivery, ask them questions about the product usage, and maybe about invoicing and paying their account. Okay, so these are the 8 steps of the sales process: prospecting, pre-approach, approach, need assessment, presentation, meeting objections, gaining commitment, and then follow up. Okay. Let's look at every one of them in details. Okay. First one, prospecting. Prospecting, the method or system by which salespeople learn the name of people who need the product and can afford it. Okay. First one, that's what prospecting is about, right? Learn the names of people, names of companies who both have the need for the product and can afford it. If they don't have the need, of course, there's no need to sell to them. If they cannot afford it, there's no way for you to make a sale to them. So make sales to them. So, and you need to find the leads, right? You find a lot of leads. You find the leads. Yeah. You can find the leads in many ways. You can find the leads through referrals from customers, your existing customers, right? Your existing happy, satisfied customers are a good source of referrals. You ask for referrals, they'll be happy. For most people, they'll be happy to help you, to give you some referral. Okay? You can get referrals from internal company sources. Internal company sources. A salesperson, you can get from your sales manager, right? Your marketing department, your telemarketing department, or even your service delivery personnel. You can get referrals from many places and inside internal company sources inside of a company. Okay? You can get referrals from external agencies. There are companies, agencies that provide external referrals for potential leads. Okay, like GoLeads.com. GoLeads.com. Okay, those external agencies can provide you with many referrals. Okay? You can get referrals from published directories, like Yellow Pages. Okay? Yellow Pages may be an old thing, but it's still up and running, and they're online, as well as on paper. We probably don't see much of it on paper anymore, but they are available online. Okay? Have you heard about Dun & Bradstreet? Dun & Bradstreet, or DNB, Dun & Bradstreet? If not, check it out, right? It used to be in our public libraries, county libraries, city libraries, or university libraries. There are shelves after shelf of rows of shelves that contains or that on display Dun & Bradstreet directories. This directory, Dun & Bradstreet, basically
Emerson Conscore, Frank Tian, or one other.
Sorry, I had to take a phone call. It's a very important phone call. Sorry about that. Let's continue about Dun & Bradstreet. You will find until today as well. You'll find in the reference section of the libraries and in major libraries, you find a lot of those printed Dun & Bradstreet directories, right? And of course, they are online right now also as well. And from using, you should get used to using Dun & Bradstreet, because you can use that to find almost all the companies, businesses in North America. Yeah. And using the NAICS code or SIG code, you can find all the companies, their contact information, major business, major categories, major industry they're in, all the contact information and everything about the businesses. So from this DMB directory, okay, but that's a good place for you to find your prospect. Okay? And another way for you to find your prospect is by networking with the salespeople, right? Networking by the salesperson himself or herself, and also with other salespersons. And finally, you can also do canvassing, cold canvassing. Basically, you go door by door, street by street, city block by city block, just cover the whole entire region that you're looking for. Okay? Just get cold canvassing. That's another way to find your prospect. Okay? And after you find your prospect or your lead, right, you need to qualify your lead, right? Qualify your lead, because remember, the potential customer, a company will become your customer if and only if they have the need and also they have the ability to pay, right? So you need to qualify your leads to make sure they are qualified potential buyers. You know? So what makes a prospect qualified? Okay, first, there is a need for the product being sold. So the qualified prospect has a need for the products being sold or you're selling. Okay, and second, the qualified prospect can afford to buy the products you're selling. Okay? And thirdly, the qualified prospect is receptive to being called upon by the salesperson. And if they are not receptive, yeah, they reject you, there's no way you can approach them. Okay, so they have to be receptive of being called upon by your salesperson. Okay, that's qualifying the lead. Okay? And basically, we have if you look at the sales process, right? Sales process, we use something called the sales pipeline to describe the process, right? Called the sales pipeline. Okay, you can start. It's like funnel, right? You can start from the top with your prospects or leads. Okay, you qualify your leads. You know, the process of qualifying the leads will take place, right? From that, your prospects, could be many leads or prospects. Then after you qualify them, cut down the number to a smaller portion, right? That becomes your qualified prospects. Of course, that's smaller than the prospects. So the qualified prospects are the ones that you should schedule your visit. Okay? Schedule a visit by your sales rep to those qualified prospects. Okay? After you schedule a visit, make a visit and meet with the potential customers, and you find out there's some prospects are your hot prospects. Hot prospects. What are hot prospects? Those are the ones who express the interest in buying the product. Right? These are the hot ones. Okay, that's an even smaller part of the total. Right? And then, of course, those hot prospects, when developed further, after you seek commitment from them, sign a contract with them, they become your customers, right? Customers. And the product has been purchased, they become your customer, and that's an even smaller part of the hot prospects. So from prospects until to the customers, it's like a funnel, the number of potentials keep going down and down and down and narrow down to the final customers. That's the one that actually purchased your product. Okay, that's what we call the sales pipeline. Okay, sales pipeline. Okay. All right. The first one is prospecting, right? The second step, pre-approach. Remember the pre-approach, right? That's planning the sales. Okay. Pre-approach includes all the information gathering activities salespeople perform to learn relevant facts about the prospects, okay? Their needs, and their overall situation. You should learn as much as you can about those prospects, about their needs, and also other facts, informations that are related to that. Okay? Because when you approach them, finally approach them, you're going to use adaptive selling. Okay, you're going to use adaptive selling. What is adaptive selling? When the salesperson alters the initial objectives or plans of the sales process because of new information gained from the customer during the actual call. Okay? When you do your pre-approach, you're going to study and learn as much as you can, but it's not possible for you to learn everything. That you're going to have new things, new insights that you don't know yet, you have not found out, and you will find out something during the process, during the actual call. Remember the sales call is a visit, right? A call. During the call, you learn something, then you have to change or alters your initial objectives or plans or presentation, even your presentation. Okay? That's what we call adaptive selling. Adaptive selling is actually the biggest advantage of having or using professional salesperson. Think about that. Okay? There are many ways for you to sell a product. You can sell on the internet, sell by trade affairs. You can try by direct sales, direct marketing. Okay? You can sell by advertising. You can sell by promotions, sales promotions, and also you can sell by professional salesperson. But professional salesperson is expensive. Okay? It costs a lot of money to hire a salesperson, use a salesperson, pay their expenses and salaries and benefits and vacations, and and also they need to use maybe company cars, hotel, lodging, everything, all those information. So it's very expensive, right? But there is one advantage that the professional setting or personal setting has over all other tools. That is, you're actually having a real person, live real person making the sales, right? Which is, the person can use adaptive selling to sell the product, whereas other tools are not using a real person and they cannot be adaptive. Right? Your advertisement, for example, once it's aired, it's there, it's fixed. Okay? You cannot change. Right? But a salesperson, a good one, can indeed make their adaptation to the new situations emerged during the sales call. Okay? And the pre-approach, we're planning the sales or trying to get appointment is not easy. Okay? It's not an easy job. I have a shoe story here. Okay, shoe stories here. I like to tell this story that many students found quite interesting. I even gave seminars, seminar training workshops to professional salespeople, and they love that too. Okay, what is the story about? Okay, there's a one company sales representative, sales rep from a company in California, right? In California. And this salesperson lady, she always tries to reach a potential customer, potential client in the East Coast, in New York City. You see, one's in East Coast, the other in West Coast, right? And she tried and tried and tried to contact them, the person in New York, and tried to set an appointment to meet with him, and he just never replied or never accepted. So he couldn't get the appointment. So it's so difficult, so hard to even just get an appointment to meet with the potential customer. So don't think setting an appointment is easy. Okay? It's not. Right? Then one day she, after trying so many times without success, she came up with an idea. What is the idea? If you go to shopping centers, go to malls, go to those shoe stores, right? Especially the ladies' shoe stores. Okay? In the window, you see a lot of shoes, right? A lot of shoes, all kinds of shoes. The owner of the store normally display just one of the pair of the shoes, maybe left shoes or right shoe, just one of the pair, right? And they want to display as many different shoes, brands or types or models, as possible. So they only display one. Normally, only display one. So what about the other shoe? The other shoe of the pair, right? The other shoe, the other one is normally in the back, in the warehouse, in the back of the store, right? After after a long time, maybe weeks, months, or even years, right? Things happen that eventually of the pair of shoes, one of them will be gone, missing. So if you go to all those shoe stores, they can tell you they end up having many shoes, one of the pair, either left or right. So they have there because the other one is just simply missing or gone, whatever. It's no longer there, right? So what do you do with those single shoes? Right? You have to sell them. Yeah. So this salesperson in California, she went to the shoe store and bought one of the shoes, just a single one out of the pair, right? The company could not find the other ones, and so they could not, sell the pair. So they sold her, this nice high heel shoes, just one, just by itself, it's one shoe. Right? So she put them in a gift box, right? Packaged it well, wrap it with the nice ribbons, flowers, everything, and gift card, and send it to the potential customer in New York. And when the guy in New York received it, he was surprised. Okay? He said, "Wow, somebody sent me a gift." He opened the box and found there is a lady's shoe inside it, and a single one, inside it. And he was, of course, confused as to what was this about? Who sent this to me? And then there's a note in the shoebox. Okay, on the note it says, right, one of my 2 feet is in your office now. Can we sit down and talk? One of my 2 feet is in your office now. Can we sit down and talk? That's on the note she sent. Okay. At this moment, of course, he cannot refuse her anymore. Right? He will call her, say, "Hey, please come. We can meet, we can chat." And then, she flew over to New York and met with this guy and started his presentation and everything. I'm just using the story to tell you that it is very challenging, difficult even for professional salesperson to even get an appointment to meet a potential client. So it's not an easy job. Okay? That's step 2, pre-approach, right? Planning the sale. Right? The next one is the approach, right? It's the approach. That's the first minute or so of the sales call or the visit. You get to their office, sit down with them, right? A good approach makes a favorable impression and establishes some degree of rapport between the salesperson and the buyer. Okay? You need to have a good approach. Okay? You want to make a favorable first impression, right? Remember, you don't have a second chance to make for a good first impression, right? And you need to establish some degree of rapport between you and the buyer. Okay? There are some expectations in the United States, in Western world, right? We normally believe that a firm handshake is good. Firm handshake shows confidence and sincerity. Okay? You should dress in professional attire. And professional salespeople are often the most, fashion conscious in the company. In the company, they don't have to be really fashionable, but they cannot be out of fashion. They always dress in the latest fashion, very professional attire, right? And also, when you approach your potential customer, you should keep your eye contact with them. You should not dodge your eyes. You should not look elsewhere. You should not look down. We should give the impression of incompetence or lack of confidence. You don't want to do that. Okay? But there is the difference between East and West. Western countries versus Asian countries. In Asian cultures, if you are to meet with the Asian business people, right, it's probably not a good idea to keep direct eye contact for too directly or for too long, and they view that as something not too courteous. Whereas in the West, we want to keep eye contact all the time. So it's just there's nothing right or wrong here. It's just something you need to pay attention to for this minor, cultural difference here. Okay, so that's step 3, the approach. Okay? In step 4, you need assess their need. We call it need assessment, right? This is the stage in which the salesperson must discover, clarify, and understand the buyer's needs. That's when you need to identify their needs, right? How do you find out about their needs? How do you know what they need, right? The best way to uncover and understand the need is by asking questions. Asking questions to find out about their need, right? Now, how do you ask questions, right? How do you ask questions? There is a technique we call the spin technique, S-P-I-N, spin technique. Okay, we don't mean to spin you or spin you or to fool somebody, right? Which is called the spin technique. Yeah, it's a spin technique for need assessment. Okay, basically the spin technique entails 4 type of questions, right? 4 type of questions: S type, P type, I type, and N type. Okay, let's look at each and every one of them. Okay, the first one, S type question, or situational questions. Situational questions are questions like this, right? How often do you change the cutting oil in your drill presses? How often do you change the cutting oil in your drill presses? Okay? You ask about the situation, the current conditions of operation. Okay? Another one. In addition to the hospital administrator, who else has an influence on the decision? You're selling a hospital, medical instrument, right? Equipment. You ask that. In addition to the administrator, who else has an influence on the decision? Okay? Both of these are situational questions, right? The first question you ask, right? Second type of question, after that, after the first one, after you are clear, you have good understanding of what's going on there, right? You ask the second type of question, we call it P questions, or problem discovery questions, or just problem questions. What are the problem questions? Like this one, right? Have you experienced any delays in getting repair parts? Have you experienced any delays in getting repair parts? Right? If they did, they're going to think about that, and then they tell you, hey, yes, we had the situations which caused blah blah blah, a lot of trouble, everything. Okay. Or this one, in which part of the production process is quality control the most important? In which part of the production process is quality control the most important? You're going to ask them to identify problems they had, okay, or what they have been having, the problem they have been having. Okay, that's very important. Okay, you need to find the problems. Okay, and the next one, now called the I type of question, or implication questions. Right, Basically, these are the problem impact questions. In other words, these are the questions about the impact, of the problems you just identified. What would be the consequences of that, right? Like this question, for example, how do these delays in getting parts affect your production costs? How do these delays in getting parts affect your production costs? Of course, delays will affect you, right? But how to what degree? How is it going to affect your production costs? You're going to triple your cost, double your cost, or no impact. Okay? I'm sure there's going to be impact. Okay? That's an implication, right? Implication of the problem you just identified in the second type question. Okay? What impact do the quality consistency problems have on your production costs? What impact do the quality consistency problems have on your production costs? Okay? That's another problem impact question. Okay? Now guess what? After S type, P type, and I type, you have a good understanding of the situation, and you have identified the problem. You can also you have identified or revealed the impact of those problems. Now what do you need to do? Yeah. You need to find the solutions, right? N stands for needs payoff. Needs payoff type question. That's the last type of questions you want to ask. We also call it the solution value question. Solution value question. Okay? That is when you can demonstrate, show that your product can help solve their problem. Okay? Like this one. If your inventories could be reduced by 20%, how much would that save you? If your inventories could be reduced by 20%, how much would that save you? Okay? They're going to do some calculations, right? They're going to do calculation. Remember, there is a cost, right? There's delay, got a cost, production cost up. Now, if inventory can be reduced by 20%, of course, they're going to save them some money, right? They're going to do a quick calculation and say, oh yeah, indeed, it's going to save us some money, okay? Or like this one. If your rejection rate on final inspection was reduced to under 1%, how much would that save you? Okay. If your rejection rate on final inspection was reduced by under 1%, how much would that save you? That's another needs payoff question or a solution value question. Okay. Now you're really kicking. Okay? You're really kicking. You're really making an impact. You're really persuading them to consider getting your product. Okay. In addition, you can also ask confirmatory questions. Confirmatory questions, just kind of like the sum it up, to give a summary and to confirm what you have covered, you have talked about, what you have convinced them. Okay, like this one. So you would be interested in an inventory control system that reduce your inventories by 20%, right? If I can provide evidence to you that our products will lower your rejection rate to under 1%, would you be interested? Would you be interested? Yeah. At this moment, at this stage, they become problem and say nobody can reject you. They're going to say, hey, I may need that. Yeah, I'll be interested. I'm interested. Let's take a look. Right? Take a look further. Right? Now, in what if that you cannot find the problem and find the solution to their problem? And what do you need to do then? You spin again. You spin again. You ask a spin question again. Start from all over again and to S-type situations, problems, implications, and needs payoff. And do that again until you find the problem, find the implication, find the solutions, and then confirm that. Okay? That's a very effective way of need assessment that every one of your salesperson should know, should master, should be able to use skillfully. And every one of you as a sales manager, need to know as well, and you need to also know how to train your salesperson for, and also how to guide them, right? Guide them, help them, okay? Spin, okay? It's going to be your test also, okay? Next step, step 5 is a presentation. You give them your powerful presentation. You are armed with the problem you identified, solutions you have, you give them the presentation. You can use a canned presentation, but you also can be adaptive. Remember adaptive selling? You can be and should be and need to be adaptive in selling. Right? A presentation is a discussion of those products and or services, the features, advantages, and benefits. Okay? And the benefits that the customer has indicated, as important. Okay, important. Right? You need to build around the forceful product demonstration. You do that, a forceful product demonstration. Okay, you need a prepared presentation versus adaptive selling. Of course, you should have a prepared presentation, but also you need to be adaptive. Okay? There are some tips for effective presentations. Right? 1, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Right? Second, talk the prospect language. Talk in their language. Okay? And three, stress application of the product service to the prospect's situation. Remember, you already know the situation, right? You asked the situational questions. You already know the situation. You need a stress application to their situation. Right? And then 4, seek credibility at every turn. At every turn, you seek credibility. If they show that they do not trust or do not believe in what you said, you need to clear it out. You need to clear it out. Make sure your words is sound, clear, and credible. Right? Seek credibility at every turn. Okay? That's step 5. Okay? In your presentation of the product, feature, benefits, and advantages, you should just give you an example here. Like for example, you have a camera. You sell a camera, okay? And there are features of your camera, like telephoto lens. You can zoom in, zoom out, right? But you don't just talk about the benefits. You don't just talk about the features of telephotos. Okay, you should talk about the features as well as benefits. How does this feature benefit the user? Right? The benefits here, you need to explain them in plain English. That with the telephoto lens, you can take pictures from longer distances, from far away. Okay, and they also need to emphasize the advantages of having this feature. Okay, the advantage here is able to capture the images of animals or people from distance. Okay, that's one example. Let's look at another example. Bicycle bottle holder. Bicycle water bottle holder. Okay, what is the feature? Attach a water bottle. That's the feature. But what's the benefit? The benefit is it can hold a water bottle. Okay, kind of self-explanatory, right? But then you need to emphasize this is the advantage. This advantage is you will not get dehydrated. Okay, you don't have to stop for water. You feel more refreshed. That's the advantage this feature, attached water bottle, have for you. Okay, drill press, right? Multiple drill bits attached. Your drill press has multiple drill bits attached, right? That's the feature. What about the benefits? The benefits is that you can change the bits without shutting down the machine. You don't have to shut down the machine to change the drill bits. Okay? And the advantage, save time and save money. Everyone loves saving time and saving money. Okay? Motor oil, right? Motor oil. For motor oil, they have this rust inhibitor rust inhibitor in the motor oil. Okay? Nowadays, people probably don't change motor oil by themselves anymore, right? It used to be a very lot of DIYs, do-it-yourselfers. Yeah. Rust inhibitor is a feature. So what about the benefit? Oil and engine have a longer life. That's the benefit. An advantage, save money. Okay. So that's how you're going to present your product features by highlighting its benefits and advantages. Okay. Stage number 6, meeting objections. As I said, will you have objections from the customer? You bet. There'll be many objections all the time, every time, all the time, right? But as a good salesperson, you should view this objection from different angle as ordinary people. Okay? Objections should be welcomed. It should be welcomed because they indicate that the prospect has some interest in the proposition. If they're not interested in your proposition, they have no interest in your proposition at all, they will not reach objections. Okay, so you should welcome that. Okay, in responding to an objection, this is what you need to do as a salesperson, a good professional salesperson. First, you need to listen to the buyer. Listen to the buyer. Okay, be patient. Okay, clarify the objection. If the objection is not presented clearly, you need to clarify that. Okay, you need to respect the buyer's concern. Respect their concerns. They're all legitimate, all good, okay? All good ones. Okay? Respect their concerns. And you have to respond to the objection. You must respond to the objections. If you ignore that, too bad, disaster. Okay? So there are different types of objections. There are altogether 4 types of objections. Okay? First one, price or value objections. This is too expensive. Well, this is not valuable enough, right? Or it just costs too much. Yeah, that's price and value objections. Okay? You should address that in the end, right? In the end, after you give them full presentation on your features, benefits, and advantages. Okay? Secondly, is about the product service objections. The objection is over your product itself. Okay? That's why you need a salesperson, right? You need to be there to answer questions, to explain to them, to explicate your product and service features, okay? The third one is procrastinating objections. Procrastinating objections. They really don't have objection. They just want to delay the decision making. They want to postpone it, right? We all procrastinators, okay? We all procrastinators. We all wait, almost all of us wait until last minute to get things done, right? Don't tell me you don't prepare for the exam the night before, okay? I know you do. Okay? Procrastinating objections are not truly objecting to your product and services. It's just they want to delay in the decision making, okay? And the last one is the hidden objections. Hidden objections. The objections are not truly manifested. Okay. So what are the true objections? You need to find out. You need to ask questions to find out about that. Okay. That's step 6. The next step, gaining commitment, asking for a sale, or close. We call close, salesperson to close a deal. Okay. Asking the buyer to commit to some action that moves the sale forward. Move the sale forward. You know, it doesn't have to be signing the contract. Of course, it's good to have the contract signed, but as long as you can move the sale forward a little bit, that's a commitment. Okay. There are some common sales closes, we call it closes, right? But some are not that good. You know, I don't really want you to use that, but you need to be aware of. You know? Like assumptive close. Like, now, what size do you want? If you do not get their commitment to buy, and then you go ahead and ask for the size that they want, that's kind of like a assumptive, right? You're assuming they want to buy it. That's kind of like giving them pressure. It's not too good. Right? Be careful with that. Okay? Using that. Okay? Also, special offer clause. Right? If you buy this product today, we will double the length of the warranty. If you buy this product today, we will double the length of the warranty. That kind of like a benefit in reserve type, right? It's not that honest, truthful. That's not too good, right? We call it special offer clause. Summary clause. Summary clause. You have agreed that our product is the best on the market, correct? The next suggests that you place your first order today so we can have it to you by the end of the week, right? That's okay to use, right? It's called a summary clause, okay? So different type of clauses, right? Some are not that good, not that decent, some, yeah, but people use it anyway. Many people use that, okay? That's step 7. The final step, last step, is follow up. Follow up, right? Sales reps must learn that the sale is not over when they get the order. When you get the order, the sale is not over. There are a lot of work to do, right? It's much more expensive to acquire new customers than it is to retain existing customers, right? It's more expensive to acquire new customers than it is to retain their existing customers. So you need to follow up to provide service, to show you care about their business, and then to retain the business. Okay? Following up to ensure that the customer is fully satisfied builds your trust and is consistent with the concepts of relationship marketing. So it's very important to do that. Okay? I think that's all I have here, right, for this professional selling or personal selling, the process and the steps. Okay, I'll talk to you later. See you next time. Goodbye.